Tatsuki Fujimoto's Chainsaw Man has taken the world by storm, and with the manga selling like crazy and an anime just around the corner, there must be a good reason for why this is the case. And there is. It's a super well written, non-stop action thrill ride, and it's truly the pinnacle of what shonen can be. To its batshit insane setting, to its characters you've likely seen loads of fan art of,
Makima-san, Daisuke, I love you, Makima.
I really could just spend all day talking about how much I love Chainsaw Man. But alas, nothing is perfect, as Chainsaw Man has one of the most glaring plot holes I have ever seen in a story. It's a plot hole that once I point it out to you, you're gonna feel like a big, stupid idiot for not realizing this sooner. It's a plot hole that if it doesn't get resolved by the end of the story, it could really ruin it and make my opinion on it change entirely. Now, I'll stop tickling your balls here and tell you what that plot hole is. Who is Chainsaw Man? Now, I'm sure plenty of you went just now, well, Denji's the main character, so isn't he Chainsaw Man? And no, you're an idiot. You should go get your brain checked out. Clearly, Denji cannot be Chainsaw Man, because at the beginning of the series, in the very first chapter, Denji dies. He is cut up by the Yakuza and left in a dumpster, and you can see that very clearly. I mean, I don't know why so many people miss this detail. I know what you're gonna say. We see Denji the whole story, so is that not Denji? And no, it's not Denji. Denji was clearly cloned. Cloned by who? I don't know, why are you asking me? But I'll throw all of you morons out there that believe Denji is Chainsaw Man by using the Denji clone as the basis here. Assuming people are talking about this Denji clone when they're talking about him being Chainsaw Man, it's still an assumption that makes no sense. Let's put these two images of Denji and Chainsaw Man right next to each other. Do you spot anything right away? That's right, even a toddler can tell that one of them clearly has a chainsaw for a head and the other one is just a normal human dude. Now, once again, I already know you simpletons are gonna come at me with another argument like, well, why do they call Chainsaw Man Denji the entire story if he's not Denji? And the answer is really simple. It's because Chainsaw Man wears Denji's clothes, obviously. Denji and Chainsaw Man are probably just really good friends, and Chainsaw Man borrows Denji's clothes because he's a devil, and why would a devil have any clothes of his own? So when he's seen wearing those clothes in public, people are just assuming it's Denji because why wouldn't it be Denji? Why else would he be wearing Denji's clothes? As I was doing my super extensive research on this subject matter, I came across a few panels where it appears like Denji is transforming into Chainsaw Man. And it seems like pretty good evidence that Denji is Chainsaw Man, right? Wrong. Clearly, Fujimoto accidentally drew these panels and just left it in the story like the hack of a mangaka he is. I don't think the guy understands the concept of proofreading or having editors. I mean, how do you miss a mistake this big? To recap all this before we move on, just so your tiny little mind can process everything I just said, we established that Denji died at the beginning of the series and we are following a Denji clone. This Denji clone is a human, therefore he cannot be Chainsaw Man because Chainsaw Man is a devil. He and Chainsaw Man get mistaken for one another often, but only because Chainsaw Man borrows Denji's clothes. So you might be asking again with your really annoying voice, where does Denji go when Chainsaw Man appears then? And luckily for you, I came up with 3 theories. 2 that are likely and 1 that isn't likely at all, but I figured I should mention it anyways.
Hello Internet, welcome to
Chainsaw Man. Theory number 1. Denji was never actually cloned. I know, that this one might sound hard to believe, but follow me here. Chainsaw Man was the one that was forced to kill Denji, his longtime best friend at the beginning of the series. Out of guilt, he carries on Denji's name and wears his clothes and pretends to be Denji. Now, assuming this theory is true, and I mean, let's face it, it probably is, then whenever we see Denji on page, it's actually Chainsaw Man's guilt personified. I mean, nobody in the main story knew what Denji looked like or who he was before he died, so I mean, I think this is a pretty plausible theory. But if this one is too much to swallow, then we can move on to theory number 2. In this theory, Denji probably just stands there. Nobody notices him because Chainsaw Man's doing cool, badass shit. Why do we need to look at Denji if he's just standing still? In my opinion, but in reality this is actually factual, but I'll be humble and say in my opinion, this theory speaks for itself. But before I continue stroking off my ego, I did say I have 3 theories, and this last one, I'll just say buckle up because this one's kind of a stretch. Theory number 3. In this theory, it's likely that I'm misunderstanding who Chainsaw Man is intentionally so that I could clickbait people into watching this video that's quite frankly gone on too long and is probably not even funny, even though I made this for comedic purposes. Nah, that theory doesn't make any sense at all. Well, now that I've gone through every single reason why Denji just can't be Chainsaw Man, I think it's pretty solid evidence that Chainsaw Man has a really big plot hole. If you were to ask me who I think Chainsaw Man is, you're probably gonna call me insane, but I think, just stay with me here, Pochita might be Chainsaw Man. At least I thought I did. And then I looked at the name Chainsaw Man and realized that Pochita simply cannot be Chainsaw Man. I mean, Pochita's a dog, and Chainsaw Man is a man, so I just had to throw that theory out the window. So all I could really do is wait for Fujimoto to answer this question at least before the end of the series, because if he doesn't, I just can't call this series good. In fact, I feel guilty about being a fan of it right now. So unfortunately, I will be throwing away all of my manga, I will be burning my figures, and I will never watch a single episode of Chainsaw Man until this answer gets resolved. I demand answers, and I will not put up with mediocrity. Ignore the fact that I read My Hero Academia. Stay tuned for my next video where I talk about why Kobeni's devil can't be the sloppy blowjob devil, but in fact, the sloppy foot job.